Hello everyone. I welcome you here again. So today we have Miss Smridhi Saluja with us. So welcome Smridhi.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for inviting me.
So Smridhi is currently a PhD scholar from IIT Delhi. So we want to start with your academic background first. Please tell us.
Yes, sir. So I did my schooling from Bal Bharati Public School, Pitampura, and I had taken commerce in 11th, 12th. After that, I pursued BCom honors from Shriram College of Commerce, that's in University of Delhi. And after that, I did my MCom from Department of Commerce, Delhi School of Economics, again University of Delhi. After that, I got selected for PhD, and currently I'm pursuing PhD from Department of Management Studies, IIT Delhi.
Okay. So is the OBHR is your area?
Yes, sir, HRO.
Okay. Do you wanna share something about your selection procedure? Let's say somebody wants to pursue PhD from IIT. So what is the selection procedure?
So, firstly, I would suggest that the students target NET GRF. So they entirely focus on cracking UGC NET GRF with a good percentile. Post that, we have the application process. So the advertisement for PhD comes twice by IIT Delhi, once in March and the other one is in October. For the March cycle, they conduct interviews in May, and for the October cycle, they conduct interviews in December. So all the applicants, all those who want to, do their PhD aspirants, they should start preparing for UGC NET according to these timelines, so that once you are done with MCom, you must be having your UGC NET ready so that you can apply immediately for the March cycle. So in March, they told us, and then we filled the application form. So it has several details like 10th marks, 12th class marks, and your grad marks. So that detail you need to fill in, and you need to submit statement of purpose. So that's a short statement of purpose, after which we were asked to submit a detailed SOP once we got selected in the stage one. Pursuant to that, on the basis of your statement of purpose and the detailed research proposal that they ask from you, so then you have the interview process. So in that 1300 word, there's a word limit for the proposal. So it's 1300. So in that you must have mentioned about your topic and why do you want to do PhD from IIT Delhi, why HROB, and what are your future plans? Why are you doing PhD basically? And then in the interview also there are three aspects. So it differs from area to area. The panel will ask different questions, but broadly there are three categories. One is the subject area. So if you are an HR student or if you are a finance student, you must be clear about the concepts of it. So they can test you on the subject knowledge. The next one is your own research proposal. So you should know your proposal word by word. If you are mentioning anything, if you're mentioning any theory, then you need to know that theory in and out. And the third thing which I would say is that business stats and business research, topics related to this, because if you are mentioning that you are studying the impact of X on Y and there are some moderators, then they can ask you what is moderation, what is mediation, what is the difference between the two, what are the types. So they can go about asking you and drilling you regarding the same. That's why complete clarity must be there for these things. And afterwards, like the process goes on. Once you get selected, you have your coursework, you have your research plan presentation, and thesis, of course.
Okay, okay. So total, how much is the strength? Total batch size in your batch?
So this time they took 14 people, and this number varies. And as per the requirement, as per the supervisor's intake, if they have seats or not. So based on that, they decide the number.
Okay. So what are your career aspirations once you complete your PhD? Do you wanna join academics or corporate?
So I want to join academics. I actually love to teach. So when I used to help my friends in understanding some concepts, that is when I realized that I have passion for teaching. And then I went on to focusing on this line. And I also wrote a research paper in my BCom honors itself, so that I get a good hang of it, whether this is the right line for me to choose or not. So, and pursuant to that, I started preparing for UGC NET. So I guess like all the aspirants, they should have clarity, and they should start working hard beforehand itself, because like you need to take three decisions. Firstly, you need to decide the area in which you want to work, whether it's HR, it's finance, because some people find it confusing. Like they have multiple subjects which they want to study, and they face difficulty like in which subject to do the PhD. So I would say that they have to take 3 to 4 years they have to spend in that line, in that area. So they should have a good clarity on their interest,
Yeah,
and
very true.
that's how your interest gets developed. And I decided for the academics, like, in very initial years.
Okay, okay. Do you wanna share something about writing a research paper or finding out a correct journal? Do you wanna share something?
Yeah, sure. So initially, when you start searching for the topic, you need to, there's ABDC list of journals. You find out A category, B category. So you find out the top journals in your area. You must network with other people and get to know the journals that you should target. Then you start reading upon the topics. What is that the other researchers are currently studying on. So there's a sort of trend, or you can say the research interest in some topics that is at hype at that moment of time. So you read about it, you read some newspaper articles, or you read other books from which you get to know the topic of your interest. Then there are different methodologies. You have qualitative, you have quantitative. So all this thing you get to know as and when you study. Like I mentioned, that business research concept should be clear, business stats concept should be clear. So once you have found out the topic of interest, then you go out to like, what methodology are you going to do? Are you going to conduct surveys, or are you going to conduct the experiments? And subsequently, for, as you were saying, journals. So nowadays there are also platforms from where you can find out the journals for your paper. You can just put the abstract, and from the keyword search and from other areas, they tell you the best journal.
Okay, that's wonderful. Do you wanna share something about the relationship between supervisor and a scholar, how it should be, and what are the things as a PhD scholar one should be careful about during their PhD life?
Yes, definitely. You should have, good rapport with your supervisor, and good coordination is required, because as we know that PhD doesn't have very much rigid deadlines. So it is sort of self-paced, like the days you are working hard, the days you are not studying at all. So there is a variation. And if you don't want to have delays in your work, then probably, reach supervisor beforehand, so that the timing actually coordinates. Because either you do 2 3 projects simultaneously, so that you can count upon that delay. Otherwise also it depends on institution to institution, and upon the supervisor, like how many other projects they are having, because supervisors also have some external projects. So that those things need to factor in. And gradually and slowly you get to know about your supervisor, whether they are more comfortable in offline meets, or they would want you to, talk to them on phone. What are the timings when they will be usually free? So from your seniors and from your personal experience, you get to know these things. So there's no issue regarding it.
Yes, that's wonderful. Is there anything else you want to share with all the viewers?
I would say that self-discipline is very important for, even for cracking UGC NET GRF. You need to study hard. You need to study many things. So, like if you start on time, and you stay in touch with others as well, so that you are aware beforehand what all you need to do. So sometimes we should learn from the experience of others,
Right.
because our own experience takes time. That is why connecting with others is very important, so that you gain good insights.
Okay. Thank you, Samriddhi. Thank you for sharing your learning and experience with us. Thank you so much.
Thank, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.